Hello everybody, in this video I will show you how we can use birth dates and birthplaces and display various filtering approaches on this dataset, such as date, time, geolocation, with advanced or more flexible filtering, database queries as well, but in this case we will be using another dataset, and also other types of filters that I'll show you soon. So let's look at this prepared dataset, and it's just created manually. We have place of birth, age, birth date, city, and latitude and longitude of the city. So let's look at the data again, and that's what we have. We have a bunch of cities, especially around the United States. We have USA, United States of America. Actually the same place but different spellings, as you see. Okay, so let's start with processing data. This is our typical basic filter. We can be including rows by attribute or exclude them, again by value. You can include rows by number, exclude rows by number. You can include rows by ID, exclude rows by ID. So we have done that before, and you may just select a column, and then if you want to use pattern matching, you can choose the text, whatever you like. You can contains, if you want to contain wildcards, you can. For instance, use star, let's say, and apply. And what you will get is, after you run, you should see the filtered data. That is what we have done that before. So next, I'll show you a bit more advanced row filter. Again, you can select from the node repository, and if you look at configuration of that, I have set AND as well as OR. I can embed, so the top level is AND, which I can also change from AND to OR, but let's keep this as AND, and I have age greater than and equal to 20, and I have another condition, and if either of these are true, it will also end with age and then bring you the result set. If you want, I can add another group, and as you see, I can also change that, but basically I can embed, and I can actually serially add them. So let's remove this group, and if I want another condition, I can add it here. So these are AND, age, OR, and this other condition. If I were to select this condition, then I can actually pick a column. Then I can actually do either pattern matching or any others. So I think you have the idea, so I will delete that. This is showing you a static pattern match, and this is showing you a birthplace pattern match. Okay, so if I apply, I look at the result set. I have US, USA, and Norway. This is because of Oslo is in there, so I can either select these plus that city, and also age greater than and equal to 20. So that is another filter which you can do a little bit more flexible filtering. I can also do time-based date and time-based row filter, but in order to do that I need to take the string date time and convert into actual date time that I can manipulate. I select birth date, and I will either add a new column with the suffix _mine, or I can actually just replace the existing one. So I will have birth date, but in this case I will have birth date in the date format. So let's keep this one for now, and I will do either date time conversion, and that's the format. I can change that format as well on local. So let's not change these, so you have the idea. Then I will apply, which I don't have anything to, so I can look at the outcome. So I have birth date and I have birth date _mine, but this time pay attention, this is string, this is actual date format. The advantage of having date format that I can actually sort, which I cannot do here. It will be messy. It doesn't make sense, right? So that's my new table, new data set, including this new column that I generated, that I will actually do a filter on. Let's look at the configuration. I selected date time column as birth date, and I will select start date is 1985, which I can do another one, but I think this is the good one based on the data set. I can actually say no now, meaning right now, it will take the time, and I can actually select an end date. If I don't, it will take current date or execution. It should take execution date, I believe. Or if I don't give a start date, and it will take the available minimum time, which is based on Apple. Okay, so this is what we can do. I can also give duration, which should be in milliseconds. Then I can also give numerical, and then I can select the granted how many weeks or years or months or seconds even, based on the start date. So let's keep date time and use execution date time. That means at the time of running, it will take a current date from the system. And never mind this number underneath. So this is what I have. I filter with birth date, anything including 85 till now. These are the birth dates among everything else. So that's a date time. So I can also do geocoordinate row filtering. That's also another Knime node that you can include. So here you see the map. I can clear the selection, or I can actually just pick a default. I mean, in this case I already selected this area, but if I were to clear it, I can actually mark it. So basically I'm picking everything else, and everything in the United States likely, unless I state here, but you can exclude points inside the selected selection, or you can actually include them. In this case I will include them. Latitude, longitude, and then the source is Wikipedia map, but there are other options as well. So once I say apply, so it should do a location filtering, geolocation filtering, this node geocoordinate row filter, and let's look at the cities within United States. Basically should show up. So that's another type of filtering. We have others as well. So nominal value row filter based on the same data set. birth dates and birthplaces. Let's configure this one. I picked, if you remember, I had these options as countries, and if you remember also I had USA, United States of America, and US as options, but I know that these actually refer to same country. In this case, I manually selected these, which I could have done. Also do a wildcard search and then type U star. That will actually bring me the same ones, but this is based on the data. So you can either manually select or do a wildcard match. Also use regular expression as well. So I hit apply. So if I run this, and if I look at what's included, that's what I got. These are the countries as I selected. So this is nominal value raw filtering manually or using pattern, similar, which I can also do here, but that's a little bit tricky. So you need to include you can select the pattern as well here, as sorry, I mean in this raw filter, but this is another one you can use if you have multiple things to select. Next we have rule-based raw filter, and there's a description of that here. So that's a custom query that you can actually type in, and placeholder for place of birth equals United States or United States of America through. So this is in this line plus this line. These are all going to be included. Include true matches, exclude true matches. So if it matches that one, it will be included. If it matches this one, that also will be included. So as I'm matching, it is including. That's not a typical SQL, but it looks like somewhat. And you can actually select attributes and available functions. Actually, if you want to add another one, let's say you want to add another one, then you can select a greater than, perhaps sign here, maybe something like that, and yes, and I have to put true underneath, so I should expect this to be true. Apply. Okay, execute, check the data. So I don't have any age less than 20, but that's not itself enough, but we also have places of birth as well as other conditions being met. So actually let me look at the condition once again. So I have these or this, and it's not again or this, so it is including. Include true matches in each line. It's a bit weird, right? But that's how you can also include. Let's take a look at it again. I have United States, US, USA, United States. Then I have others because of the age match. Okay, now I can use JavaScript, Java Snippet, sorry, not JavaScript, Java Snippet, that has a syntax such as this. boolean response equals false, if place of birth equals United States, place of birth. Here again, this is a placeholder for the attribute, and it's actually basically replacing that with the actual value and returning a response. If it's matching, it's going to respond true, otherwise false. So you can actually compile on close, and if you were to forget one of these, it will actually complain. And I have nothing I can apply, but nothing has changed, so it's aware of that. And you can still have the same effect. Another one, reference row filter, is we have another table that I will use as a reference. So United States, US, USA, United States of America. So that's just a arbitrary table that I created manually with 4 rows and 2 columns. Then I will use this one with this filter, reference based filter, which I will have the reference as this new table that I created with 4 rows. Include rows from the reference table, and I'm going to do a match between place of birth of the original table, and this is the reference table. I have column 1 and place of birth, if you remember. So I pick place of birth, so it will do actually a kind of intersection, like in queries or joins, and I will include those in the reference table. I can also exclude them. Let's exclude for now. Execute and look at the data. I have everything else but those, because I exclude them. Otherwise I will have those only. I think you have the idea. So it will actually do a place of birth intersection or join. So then I can also do database row filter. This is my database connection URL to a local SQLite database. That's my file. It's a file-based database. That's just the connection, SQLite connector. Now I'm going, and I have other connectors as well for other databases, but that's a pretty useful one that you can always choose to use in certain embedded programs. Then I will actually select a table from a list of tables in the schema. I have scored best data, which also shows you all the attributes within that. I can actually just select star, or I can type select whatever I like to choose from that list. Let's use star for now. That means everything. And I hit apply, or even I can evaluate here and see a glimpse of it, what I am expecting to see. Okay. Then I look at the data. That's what I have. All these picked by the matching table. It's a star and no condition. And all of these have investment anyway. So okay. I can also do this is table is selected. Now I'm going to do a row filter based on this data. I can further customize. So I select in products, not investment. I can do a like, and if I'm interested in doing private, products like private. Some investments are private. Then I can also add a condition, add a group, apply, and run. Look at the data. These are all private investments among everything else. So I can actually show you. Perhaps I have much more data than that, but again I'm only showing you the top 100 because it may sometimes be too much to display. Okay, and I can actually now let's run this again, or let's look at the configuration first. Cache tables in memory, write tables to disk. At the end I can actually import results. So execute. It is in the memory and I look at the final outcome, which I already shown you, but that's actually also available right here. So I think this is good for now. These are advanced options. With all this stuff you can do pretty much anything you like with Knime in terms of filtering. Okay, see you in the next videos.